Patel Brands. We're here to solve one of the top traveling complaints. My name is Melody.
I'm Carter Palacios.
Stephen Hawkins.
Zach Patel. How many times have you been traveling and you intend to just bring a carry-on, but you end up having to check your bag and end up paying overweight fees? Has that ever happened to anyone? And if it hasn't happened to you, how many times have you been in the middle of a busy airport, scrambling, putting one item into your friends or your family members' items, other suitcase when you pack last-minute items? Because I know personally, my dad gets stuck with my sister's extra belongings on family vacations. We're here to solve that issue with Space Case, your new carry-on travel companion.
So our product is basically solving one main issue. We're taking your closet with you. I know you guys are always like business meetings. Everybody that has business meetings is always running here fast. And just a quick video of what we all go through. Isn't that annoying? I know you guys go through it. I know you guys travel a lot. But yeah, that's the basic concept of the problem that we are actually trying to fix right here. So yeah, we're basically just taking your closet with you. Alright, so when we came up with this concept, we thought about what is the problem that people face a lot, and that is the problem that we came up with. And we looked at it more into detail on what the profitability of the market actually was. So just last year, the global luggage market was a $31.62 billion US industry, just in, well, globally, obviously. But in North America alone was $8.64 billion. That's a lot of money. We want a part of that money. So since 2010 up to 2015, it's been a 3.7% increase in sales throughout all overall companies and just luggage sales in general. And I'll go into just to my next slide. And that is due to jet fuel costs. I don't know if you guys follow the stock market a little bit, but prices of oil are down. Huge, huge, huge opportunity. Airlines are taking advantage of it. We want to take advantage of it. So with that being said, just this past weekend, I told Professor that I bought a $69 flight, round trip to Miami. That's how cheap it's getting right now. People are flying. People need to fly on a quick vacation trip, quick 2-day trip, or a 10-day trip. So just like me, I'm a guy. I'm always running last minute. I'm not sure how you guys are, but I'm over here getting my bag. I'm stuffing everything in, running to the airport. I wish I had this bag.
So for once, we have a suitcase that is space-saving. It creates, Ernie technology creates an airtight seal to remove excess air. So you can fit about 75% more in your bag. You can go from fitting about a week's worth of clothing to 3 weeks.
Depending on the clothes, obviously.
And it has durability like no other. It's made with a 90% polycarbonate, which makes the outside of the suitcase scratch-proof, waterproof, and airtight. So you could take this, whether you're backpacking through Europe or you're relaxing poolside in Miami, this thing's gonna last.
So, user-friendly. So, what we wanted to, when we thought about coming up with this concept, we wanted something to be quick and efficient because, like I said, we always go through the hassle of trying to jam everything in. We get frustrated, we get flustered, and we just kind of make a mess and we forget things. So, we're making it very user-friendly. When you open, this is just a slight prototype of what it actually is from without the actual lining in it. But what our concept is, when the suitcase opens up, we have 2 linings on each side. Each side has a vacuum seal that takes the air out of the clothes, which is the main reason why it bulks up so much. So we have that little vacuum seal on each side, but if you can operate a vacuum, if you don't have a vacuum on hand, if you have hands, you can still do it. We have a second option where obviously at home you'll have access to a vacuum, but as you're traveling, you're stepping into a hotel, the odds of that having a vacuum, very slim. So you can still do that with your hands. All you need is a second option where you just push the air out. As the technology that we've developed is a technology that the plastic sticks together and pushes all the air out, therefore still releasing and coming out with the same outcome.
So what is the lining itself made out of? It's made out of 7% polypropylene, 18% nylon, and 5% other materials. It comes in all different colors to match the hard shell itself. And then along with that is a 1.5-inch fabric on both sides of the zipper, giving it leeway for your clothes to fit and for the shell itself to close. It's weightless. It is more durable than any other hard shell suitcase itself. It comes with state-of-the-art wheels and, as I mentioned, the hard shell itself, that is scratch-proof. So the average airline suitcase dimensions are 22 by 14 by 9. Ours is a little smaller than that, but however, you are fitting more inside than you would be with any other one. And then the marketing has already been done. People have commented, like my wife now packs her whole closet. It's no more sacrificing space for souvenirs. I know everybody travels and then they want to come back with things that they have bought offshore or in Florida, as he mentioned. So now this case will give you room.
So going back to why we want to do this, competition. We looked at why this industry is so big. The competition here is actually this luggage exactly. And it starts roughly at $84.99, which is a little bit less than our what we're asking for retail value. But you have many problems with this. It's made out of nylon. If it rains, I don't know if you've ever seen the YouTube videos of when the people that work for the airlines are taken out of the airplane. If it's raining, they get wet. All valuable items, you have nice suits, expensive suits, nice shirts, all wet, all gone. And guess what? This isn't durable. It's breaks and it's annoying. So, going to our next competition, that's just one of our competitors. It's actually Samsonite. So they are actually the other leading company with the same concept as us, with the same polycarbonate material, which is the same thing, durable, rainproof, waterproof. The flex material, it isn't a straight 100% plastic because plastic will crack, but the polycarbonate, if it's thrown around like you see those videos of them getting launched, they won't break. So your values are still kept very, very, very safe. But one big problem. Go back to the front. If you guys can see right there in the red, $230 for this? Ridiculous. I mean, if you guys are just taking a 2-day trip, this and that, you can spend $230 to keep a couple of things in safe pack. We're offering our product to be $99, which we'll go into in a little bit later on. And same thing, the weight is 7.2. It still weighs a lot more. Our luggage weighs 5.3 pounds all in, and the dimensions still the same exact dimensions, and no warranty. We have a 1-year warranty, which I'll also go further. Stephen will go further into in the next couple slides. So, why we're here speaking to you guys on Sharks. So, we already own a 100,000 square foot facility in North Carolina. I don't know if you guys know, it's the cheapest place to basically own property. I graduated, I'm a real estate major, so I know this is the best location. And guess what? It's very close to nearby main airports, which is in Raleigh, and major highways. So our opportunity here is we want to get to the West Coast. We are still very pushing to the East Coast, make sure all our consumers are receiving their products right away. But this is why we're here, to ask you for capital to expand over to the West Coast.
Our warranty, we want to offer to our retailers is basically that we'll buy it back from them. We want to work partner with them, so we want to create a good relationship. So if they're unhappy or they're not selling enough, we'll take it back from them. And then if the customer's unhappy, we'll have a 1-year warranty for them. So if they do run into some situation, they run over it with their car and they break it, we'll replace it for them. So we just want to create a good relationship with, not only with their customers, but with our retailers, so we can have future success. Our suggested retail price is going to be $99.99. The wholesale cost will be $65.99, giving the retailers a 34% margin. We'll have room if they are looking, such as Walmart is looking to cut us down a little bit. They might not like the price. We can move around with them and possibly act on the profit margin as well.
So our offer to you, go back to that. We are asking for a $200,000 buy-in for a 20% stake. Yes, we are valuing this company at $1 million company, and that is because, like I said, this is a market that has not been touched. There is a luggage market, but there is not this kind of market where we are giving customers efficiency, quickness, and just no more headaches over trying to pack your bags.
So are you ready to transform your packing and traveling experience? Take your closet with you in Space Case.
Quick question, just
Yes.
about the mechanics. You started off early talking about the weight and things of that nature. But am I missing something? I understand how it can compress and you can put more things in there, but it doesn't change the weight of the actual luggage, correct?
I'm glad you asked that
We're
question.
marketing it as a carry-on, so the weight really doesn't matter with that. So you're just able to fit more and not have to worry about checking it.
Right, okay, because the initial introduction is a little confusing.
No, yeah, we're strictly just a carry-on. There is no weight limit, just a size limit.
So then why the discussion about shifting from your bags to your father's bags?
Just because sometimes you attempt to carry on something, but then last minute, I know a lot of girls, they're getting ready the day of, and they realize like how many extra things they need to bring with them, and their suitcase is already fully packed. But being we have it's able to be compressed, that problem's totally solved.
Okay, so that's the issue at home.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just one quick follow-up. What happens when you have to go through security and they open up your bag?
Same thing. Like I said, it does have a dual dimension for the air to be compressed. You can either be vacuum sealed, or like I said, if you have hands, you can do it. The other outing portal for the air to be compressed is just basically very simple feature where you just roll and press out the bag. Yes, it is a little bit more time consuming than it would be with just sticking the hose in and taking the air out, but you still get the same result in the end.
But to that follow-up in that, so TSA, so they open it up for some reason, now what? They don't have vacuums, they don't care.
Well,
They're
TSA only opens up your bag if you have explosives or something in there.
They do spot checks.
They do spot checks,
Yeah,
but
so
it is
you have
very rare. The odds of them happening are very rare.
Lever, just 1 second. So let's assume that you're right, it's rare.
Okay.
What happens in that rarity? So TSA opens it, I'm a rare case. I have the vacuum seal, I have my whole closet in there,
Mhm.
and they want to rifle through it, and they have a right to it, they're,
Of course, yeah.
traveling. So now what? How does it get back, how does my entire closet of clothes now fit back in there?
Well, I mean, you're targeting us. The question is kind of targeted towards us, but if you think about it, if you're going through a TSA, whether it's our product or a Samsonite, you're going to go through it. They're going to go through your bags. I don't know if you guys ever been through it. It's very annoying. They're going to take everything out. But yeah, once again, we are putting everything back in, time efficient. Like, I don't know how many times you guys have to physically take so much time to fold your clothes in there, try to make it all fit, get in all the corners.
You're saying you have a hand vacuum you can use? That happens?
I'm sorry? No, it's a portal. It just has a portal where you can stick the vacuum hose into it and it sucks the air out.
Okay, so if you don't have a vacuum, then
We've thought about the vacuum, but it would be too cost effective. It'll be too costly. And it'll bring the price up too much.
So what's TSA,
but that-
so you're saying TSA would squeeze out is that what
So
we're thinking
we've
is
been-
gonna happen?
What I'm
So,
thinking-
yes,
well,
with your
Well,
situation.
hold on a minute. What I'm thinking you guys should pick about is like a blow dryer or something that you could reverse and just suck it right back to normal size. Because if it does happen to some one person, that's not a good model.
Well, also when they do open up the suitcase at the airport, because it has already been compressed, the clothing will most likely stay that way. It won't inflate back to what it originally was. So when they do open it up, it will be smaller than it was when you packed it. Also, the lining itself will go over it, so when you compress it, you will still be able to zip up the lining. Which
So
will,
before I invest, I'd want to know how long that would take and the guaranteed 100% success, that being put right back the way you initially had it. If you could present that, then I would be interested.
we could definitely test it out.
So, a couple questions. You said that the margin for the retailer was 34% wholesale to retail.
For a suggested retail, yes.
Right. What are your costs and what is the profit per suitcase for us? So how much are we making?
Well, we are selling the suitcases for you guys for $64.99, and then we are suggesting that we are selling in stores for $99.99.
Right, so the $64.99 is what you would recommend Costco. I mean, you're selling it to Costco for that amount, let's say, or Macy's,
Yeah,
right?
yes, correct.
Okay, but you have costs to produce that bag, right?
Mhm.
So of that $64 that you're selling
okay.
it, what is the margin that you're making? How much are you keeping versus what's in the cost to actually make each unit? What does it cost to make each bag?
Yeah, so a very basic simple model, it comes out to $27 per bag, and that's the reason we've thought about installing the, I guess, inside pump already to kind of take in and all out so you can do everywhere. But like I said, profits, we'd be losing too much profit at that
You
point.
got a great profit if it costs you $27 to make that. And the
Well,
end
that's the
user-
reason we have our own, we have our
Does this
facility,
technology exist? I mean,
Space
is
bags.
there any, so
not in the
do
luggage
you have
market.
patents? Are there, what's there now that we're investing in? Is it the idea? Is it a patent? What?
It is the idea. In the luggage industry, there is nothing like that that is already installed with the luggage itself. But there is other ideas, at-home ideas. So we kind of based off that at-home idea of storing like blankets stuff inside your house, but transform it into something that is almost like a every weekend kind of use for
You make
corporate
different
America.
size bags or just one size?
In the future, we'll look from carry-on to head forward. The benefit with the carry-on is, if you're traveling nationally, there's no weight limit for a carry-on bag. So we're looking that you can carry a full-size suitcase in our carry-on.
I mean, a smaller carry-on. You just
A
make
smaller carry-on?
one size carry-on?
Yeah, so I mean, carry-ons, what we did is we tried to stick to the 22, 14, 9 dimensions with TSA, yeah, one size. So we want to make sure this fits there and you have zero complaints with TSA or the airline saying it does not fit, as you saw in the very original video. That's what we intend, that's the whole market that we're trying to intend. But for further research and in the future, we are looking at more international, but I feel like this is the market where it's hot right now.
The Talbrands are not really going to get a one-hit wonder. We are planning on bringing out a whole line, even just like a weekender bag, and those are really popular. So after we see how successful this is, we're going to eventually keep coming out with more products because we'll be more recognized in the suitcase industry.
So are you going to test this with retailers? I'm trying to understand still the business model because you've talked a lot of different retailers. I'm assuming this is not an online product. You want to go right to stores with it and have them carry it?
Yeah, no, currently we are an online, but because of the response rate that we've gotten, we want to be able to, in the future, deliver to stores and be able to get that as a mass market.
Yeah, we would look for stores like Brookstone who have advanced technologies. People come into the stores looking for time-saving products or products that are just helping them around the house. So this would be a great product, and there's enough space in their store for demonstrations. And they're, as a retailer, they work with their salespeople to understand all the products and demonstrate them if anyone has a question. So it would be an ideal way for us to start and get our name better out there without a video necessarily.
Lee wants to know if we can put pets in there. You're gonna ask that?
No pets.
I just heard Delta is planning on charging for overhead, storage overhead. What happens to your business if that becomes the norm in the airline industry?
What about checking in bags is going to go up as well? It's going to go up as well.
Well, no, I assume they'll keep the check. It's very profitable right now for airlines to charge for check-in. Obviously, that is motivating people to do more carry-on, which creates its own issues because of some of the things you're raising here and the delays and so on. So, in an attempt to, in at least Delta's case, they're planning on preventing that by charging for it and obviously making more. What happens to your business if that becomes the norm?
Are you still flying to Denver without clothes?
No.
There you go.
I'll be checking in now.
Well, with that,
And then I don't care about how much, I just get a bigger bag and I just check it in.
So are they gonna be based on weight, is what you read?
Well, I think it's still the same dimensions as what you're here. They're just looking to earn money off of it.
So it's not being judged by weight or anything like that, it's just the
Just,
actual
no,
weight.
it sounded like the same current rules, size and weight, but weight doesn't matter, I mean, weight isn't a factor, it's, you're packing more, to my original question, you're packing more into, but it's still limited by weight. It's now the cost advantage of carry-on gets eliminated.
You're still able to put more clothes.
Yeah, it
But
doesn't really
still,
take away from
right.
our technology.
And wealthy guys like you will just pay the extra.
Well, and that's
But
actually
I
a really
won't buy
good
these, why
question.
not just use my existing?
Who are you targeting this to? So who is it? Is it the wealthy person? Is it business, you know, you talk business traveler, not the all wealthy people, but is it the business traveler, or is it really the person who doesn't have a lot of money and doesn't want to pay for the overhead space? Is it, you know, kids who are going over to Europe? Who is the market for this?
This could be honestly for anybody. For example, if me and him decide to travel somewhere, we could just share the one luggage and then fit both of our things in it. That tackles like the extra fees that Delta might install in their, I guess, plan. So I mean, it's for $99 if the retail were to decide to sell it for that. That would be perfect for even college kids. I mean, this doesn't have to be used just for travel. You could even pack your winter clothes in here and just put it in a closet instead of.
But that technology already exists.
For that home use, yeah.
Oh, no,
Store
their technology.
No, it's the technology of being able to pack clothes away for the winter. You put it in some plastic, yeah.
Right, but even with that, you have to buy many packages of that, which will cost you about the same. Plus, you will have to worry about getting storage bins, putting them into storage bins. With this, you could just pack an entire closet, and then it's very small. You could fit it under beds. You could put it in a closet. You could put it on the attic. Yeah.
The demographic, when we looked at the statistics, we saw that the most frequent flyer is ages 25 to 40, and that pretty much the demographic ranges from college students to young corporate America to older corporate America. People are traveling. That's like the bottom line of our business. People are traveling and they need this.
One point I'd make is, as a business traveler, you know, 9 times out of 10, my company's gonna pick up a fee or whatever to, I mean, for me, I would see this more as a convenience play than a cost of saving $25. And the other thing I would point out is, one of the issues that I have when I'm traveling, if it's an airline I don't use, even if I have a carry-on bag, the room gets taken up so quickly that I'm still having to check it, which is, you know, a little bit of a concern. A lot more and more people have to check their bags on the runway, you know, because there's not that overhead space. Can you talk more about the marketing? How would you, like, have you put a budget together for the marketing, and what would be the primary way you would communicate to people? Has that been built in?
So the marketing, we've mostly done it over social media itself, also reaching out to local stores that would do it for us. Videos such as Facebook, our promo video that we've created for the online sales are up on Facebook. They've been shared. Also Instagram and Twitter, things like that. We also look forward to getting representatives that will display our bags for us. You know, anything from like travel teams, celebrities, anybody who travels.
We plan on doing like in-store demonstrations to show exactly how it works. To bring in the crowd and everyone's gonna see like what's going on over there, and it's gonna spark their interest.
Just like you said, it is a convenience, and nowadays with technology and just society, the millennials, Generation X taking over, we're all about convenience. The quicker we can get it done, the better. So I see it as a product that I wouldn't even think twice about buying.
I think it's interesting. I mean, the convenience component, and maybe, you know, you show a suitcase and a half that you're able to put into one suitcase. So I like that. You know, and the business model, if those margins make sense, I think it's very compelling. But the technology, I'm still not clear. The technology doesn't exist, correct? I mean, you will have to develop. You're coming up with the idea. Don't really know what the cogs are because you don't have a prototype. Is that correct? I mean, is there a prototype that you have that does all this? And are you convinced that you can develop a prototype and that you could fully patent protect it?
We definitely can. I mean, going off the space bags that we talked about earlier, the materials that we use are more durable. They're also, they prevent, molding. It's also scratch-free, just like the hard case itself, and it's very light to use. So even when you put over it, it's not going to be a thick material. It'll be very thin and then easy to go over.
The technology itself is really simple. It's not something that's going to be complicated. It's just a valve where air can't get in, but air can be pushed out. So it's really not something that's going to cost a lot to produce.
Well, I have a question. So there is no working prototype. Where did your, in addition to being technology oriented, also numbers oriented? So you mentioned roughly a $27 internal cost for
Yes.
you to develop. How did you arrive at that number, or those numbers? What went into that estimate if there is no working prototype?
Well, yes, like I said, we already own our facility that we will be start developing out of, and manufacturing out of. So we've already taken all costs into account of what it's going to cost to buy from overseas for the polypropylene and the inside lining as well. So we already have contracts with those companies already, to the fact where we came to the number of $27 is an all-in cost to put the bag into your hands.
So does that include labor and all of those factors?
For the reason of we already have our facility already. It's our own our facility. We are not leasing out with anyone. It's our own facility, strictly for us, for our use.
Based on what Lee said, I'm out with the financials. You haven't presented the financials that you're talking about. Based on what I just heard, I'm out.
Okay, I'm in. I'll tell you why. First of all, I would not buy a manufacturing facility. I'd outsource that in the beginning to make sure it takes off. Real estate's going to be an anchor for you at this point. But I would be in if you perfect the technology and you solve the problem that the professor raised about getting caught at the airport. Okay, I wouldn't want to invest. What was it, $200,000 for 20%?
$20,000.
But I would invest maybe $100,000. But I would want closer to 40%. Because right now you don't have anything.
Any other sharp offers here?
Well, I'd be interested, but I need to see more development on the financial side, because.
That's what you're here for.
Well, no, I'm talking about your estimate of the $27, because I have private investments, manufacturing of products versus selling a service like an Uber, where it's all technology, nothing. Manufacturing has a lot of hidden expenses and unexpected issues that crop into the actual pricing. And so in order for me to participate, I mean, I'm interested in the concept. I need to see more of a breakdown, spreadsheet that addresses a day in the life, of the space case.
So what would be your offer?
Well, again, it's a chicken and the egg problem for me, because until I see those numbers, just from a general perspective, normally a product that's being developed needs to have more of a 3 to 4 times multiple from cost to wholesale price, as a general rule. I mean, it's not a hard and fast need, but you're only roughly at twice if I follow your math, and that's without even having, from what I understand, an actual prototype. It's just all concept at this point. Correct? Did anything developed on the? I mean, how did you arrive at 3 times the reduction in size versus 5 times when you applied a typical value? Was that based on anything?
Yes, we based off of the Ziploc has the at-home product where you can stuff. Not close it. Very comforters.
Comforters,
Yeah, so as you know, they take up a lot of space in your closet, and when I saw that, I was like, wow, you can literally go from X amount to X amount because there's so much excess air in bigger items that I just saw a great opportunity into it. So we went strictly off the concept of the dimensions that it goes from that to the average clothes that we would enter into the suitcase, which would be t-shirts, sweaters, and jeans.
All right, so you're using the comforter example as a agent for how much it typically will reduce, okay, versus having any. And the leakage, I mean, you're confident that the technology exists, that it won't reinflate or leak?
Absolutely, it's completely waterproof from the materials that we chose. We did a lot of research on them, and there's no way anything's getting in or out besides the air.
As long as you don't have, as long as you're not packing wet, damp clothes inside, none of your other clothes will be affected or the lining itself.
Okay.
You in?
I'm gonna let Tony get in and then potentially partner at this point.
Yeah, so
I
I
need more
really
details.
like this, and I would be in, and I would be in for what you wanted, but here's what I would have to see. I would have to see the prototype. I would have to use it, feel it, see it, and know that you have really tight patent protection. Okay, that would be the first thing that I would say. The second thing is if this works the way you say it does, I think you got more room to increase the pricing. Because relative to if you're saying a typical Samsonite is $200 and you're charging $99 for, I mean, I think you could be charging $150. To me, it's a better Samsonite.
Could you
So
get
I
rid of
think-
2 or 3 if
Yeah,
your
well, that's
numbers
the
are
point
right?
here. So the point is maybe squeezing the manufacturing, but also getting more of a margin, I think addresses your question, because I do think you could get, I think you're at about a 3 times multiple now, but I think you could get it up higher, truthfully. The other thing that I would urge you to think about, and the reason that the patent thing would be so important is, if this is as simple as you say to make, and I would question that, it's going to be a matter of time before Samsonite and American Tourister, they all start jumping in and trying to figure out how to do it, and you need to be able to absolutely protect it. I would have to see that you're protecting it. And frankly, I think there's another revenue stream there, which is maybe you have your own, but you license out. And that could be really interesting. If you own this technology, what would perhaps Samsonite be willing to pay to have access to it for one of their lines of bags, which I think is really interesting. So I would be in for what you're asking for, with the proviso that what you have is doable and defensible in the marketplace.
I'll give you 100,000 and we'll develop it together, so
I don't know that I want somebody else in it. I don't want to start.
Lee?
I don't know, it's either or.
Come back with an offer, counter?
What do you want, 100,000?
I just based on my own experience, I think the manufacturing is going to be a lot higher, a lot
Yeah,
bigger.
so you guys asked for 200,000 for 1% equity, so it's $1 million credit. 20%, he's giving you a hint for 40,
But she's got a big contingency and
I got a big contingency, but if it
But
doesn't work, nobody has a business here. So let's face it, it doesn't matter if somebody's giving you 100 or 500,000. If you don't have the technology, you have nothing anyway.
I mean, the idea of which expanding over to Samsung and stuff like that, like I said, we are a startup. We don't have that kind of connection, but we're hoping to be here to help.
If you have a great idea, it doesn't matter. If you have a great idea,
Spanx,
go to the big guys.
Spanx.
Spanx.
All right, good job.